Hello, welcome. Today is day 38 of the 75 day Spirit Baby Devotional, and I am Jezreel, the Spirit Baby Auntie, and I am a sacred birth worker. I am a doula, I am an advocate, and I realized that I guess I've never really described what it means to be a sacred birth worker. And why emphasize it is that, like, why didn't I just say I'm a birth worker? Why'd I have that out sacred? Because I was birthed into the birth world as a doula. I studied under a very international, big known doula, International Doula Corporation. I didn't get certified by them though. I'm a rebel, so no, but when I learned birth work, I learned it from a very suppressed perspective. I feel as though what they were teaching me was to be an extension of the medical system. And truly just only, I don't know, it just felt very sterile and it felt very detached. And there was really no ceremonial aspect of it. And then I took the Sacred Birth International's birth worker mentorship, and I feel like I was born again. I felt like I was a newborn and understanding and embodying sacred energy in general. And I don't mean just like I learned how to do things and I changed who I was to proclaim myself as sacred. No, I mean I understood and found a deep reverence for life. And understanding and having a deep reverence for life came from having a deep reverence for birth and a deep reverence for death and just a deep reverence for, you know, the human experience. And regardless of how one shows up, there is no real textbook definition of how sacred looks. Sacred is just sacred to the person who is feeling the depth of sacredness. And as a sacred birth worker, I understand, embody, and believe with my whole soul in the sacredness that is becoming a mother, that is becoming a parent, that is bringing your spirit baby earthside, that is communicating with your spirit baby. I understand all of that to be sacred, and it just is. Anything that I experience in this life is sacred. Anything that you experience in this life is sacred. Anything that makes you who you are is sacred. It's worth respecting. It's worth honoring. It's worth slowing down and being present for every single moment of, and having accountability in every moment, and honoring it and loving it with the guidance from Source, the guidance of the universe, the guidance of Mother Earth, the way that they love me. And birth itself is a moment of a human's very first experiences in their life. Like, you know, they have the first experience of growing, the big bang that is coming into existence, and growing inside their mother. And when you think about a mother-child relationship, it's truly, truly nothing like it. There's nothing like that. And when a baby is born, These are all first moments. That baby's gonna go on and be a full person who has a full life of a sense of humor, priorities, responsibilities, passions, things that light their fire, like that sets their soul ablaze. And the act of birth can be some of the most excruciating pain that a woman will experience, some of the most soul-stretching challenges that women experience. And everybody came from a mama. Everybody has a mom. The whole reason why we all talk and exist is because of our mothers. And because she went through the dance of birth, whatever her experience was, you know, there is no one way that birth looks that makes it sacred. I had my son born for me via cesarean, and it was still a sacred birth. It was my birthday. It was his birthday. It was our birthday. I decided that day that I would share my birthday with my son. I decided that day that I would lay on the operating table and bleed out onto the floor to have my son born. That was a day that I knew exactly how resilient this body is. I had major abdominal surgery and I walked away alive. Those were the first moments of my son's life. That is a very pivotal moment in my marriage. Like, you know, if you play a video game, there are checkpoints. If you get to a certain level, you know, the checkpoint is like if you die or something. When you spawn back into the game, you spawn back at that moment. Birth for my husband and I, it was a checkpoint. Like we don't necessarily spawn back there. However, my life was laying on that table. I was having a real experience, and life forever changed after that for he and I. We walked away as active, participating parents, and those were the first life moments that my son experienced with us as people. He met the world. I grew him in the darkness, the warmth, the safety of my uterus, and he witnessed it firsthand. His mommy having surgery, and in that surgery she came out alive, and that just is, and it's a sacred passage. It's not a natural physiological birth. It's not the most empowering birth. However, it's still my birth. And the day I became a mom in itself off default is sacred. And birth is sacred. But I don't share this sentiment with everyone in the birthing world. Not all birth workers view it as deeply as I view it. They're probably very awesome birth workers though, don't get me wrong. However, this is the foundation and the philosophy in which my birth work is centered on. And that just is. So hey, I am Jezreel, and I'm a sacred birth worker. I honor, acknowledge, and have deep soul reverence for birth and women evolving and stepping into their power and owning their life experience, moments that change them forever. And that's really deep. Being someone who proclaims and acknowledges and honors being the spirit baby auntie. That means I am honoring being a spirit baby medium and honoring being their auntie, which inevitably is also sending a soul promise to those children that I acknowledge you and I see you, and someday your mommy's gonna bring you earthside. Even if I am not her doula, if I am not her acting sister, I still acknowledge you. And I know that my soul sister, my human sister, my sister who was also a child of Mother Earth, a woman, because we are all united, we are all one, will bring you earthside. I have that faith. I pray over that energy. I acknowledge it with my fullness of self because it's sacred. Because there's so many children born without the acknowledgement of such. I'm thinking about the song, Ain't Nobody Praying for Me. I'm praying for those souls before they incarnate. I'm praying for the women that would be their mamas. Even if I myself am not someone that is there to walk that path with them. In spirit, I am praying for them. I may not know you, but I'm praying for you. I'm praying for you because it's that deep. It's really that deep. Birth is so sacred. Yeah. And playing is sacred. Laughing is sacred. Being joyful is sacred. Children are sacred. And they are the silliest humans to exist. They are the closest to God because they're still experiencing life for the very first time. We all are. However, I feel as though the older we as adults get, the more pattern recognition we hone our ability to recognize patterns in the human experience. And kids still have open curiosity. They still notice things for the very first time. Without summing things up, they notice things, individual things, because they're learning. And that's so, so, so special. And the importance of having someone in your life acknowledging your rite of passage into motherhood as sacred is because it's one of your first moments, especially in pregnancy. Just peeing on a stick for the very first time, that's a new evolutionary experience. Every day your body is changing, and it's a societal norm to bypass those changes and to be disassociated from them. Whereas I remember myself as a mom, I just noticed so many changes, and they were just so new to me, and I was just excited for them. There was nothing else to it. I can't say there was more profound insight on them except for they were new, and I was enjoying them. And it felt like the world hated that. And well, that was just fucking lame, but it's the truth. And yeah. So if you yourself are looking for a doula in the East Point, Atlanta, South Fulton, Clayco area. Hi. I am a very intentional doula. I specialize in natural, physiological birth education and support, but I'm here for all of your choices and making sure that you make choices based on research. You're going to make informed decisions with my love and care supporting you. I also plan baby showers and gender reveals and nesting parties and mother blessing ceremonies and closing of the bone ceremonies. I'm also a sister gardener. So if you, during your journey of pregnancy, would like to also start your garden in any facet, whether it's houseplants or your outside garden, I'm here because I believe stewarding land helps ease so many just nuanced anxieties in pregnancy. It also helps a woman download messages from her baby, from her ancestors, from Mother Earth. And it really does teach you the thing about patience. It's taught me so much about motherhood and parents. Well, not just parenthood, but being a human, raising children. And it's so funny to say that because I don't have any just regular words for it, but I just have the innate understanding that I got those codes from putting my hands in soil. And I believe every mother should experience that, especially my sister. So if you would like to book a discovery call with me, the link is in my bio. If you yourself would like to have even a small portion of being held while you're blooming into motherhood, I have an ebook especially for you. There are practices in there for you to slow down and breathe and be in your body, for you to unplug from expectations or external stimuli and to tune inward. It is called Held While You Bloom. It's free and it's also in the bio. And if you would like to join our Facebook community, it's called Spirit Baby Connect on Facebook. Join our group. We'd love to have you there. In the bio. Everything's in the bio. And yeah, I would like to thank you for being here with me. Today is day 38 of consistently posting here on the social media webs and sitting in this space and stretching my throat chakra and being with my channeling and what comes through in this space of just communicating and sharing myself. So thank you so much. I'll see you again tomorrow on day 39.